Friends, good morning, everybody. On behalf of the Center for the Study of Social Exclusion and Inclusive Policy and Ambedkar Studies Center of the National Law School of India University, and on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Venkatrao, my colleagues at the center, especially the seminar convener, Professor Pradeep, yes, and my friends, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this international conference on Dalits and Africans in the 21st century, learning from cross-cultural experiences. Friends, at the very outset, I would like to very warmly welcome Dr. Oscar Fernandez, who has kindly agreed to inaugurate this seminar. Dr. Oscar Fernandez can without hesitation be described as a politician who is one of a kind. Karnataka and Udupi in particular has loved this man so dearly that they elected him to the Lok Sabha again and again. This is not just surprising because this person was the same whether his party was in power or not. If you want to know the truth about a person, there is an old adage which goes like this: tell me who his friends are, and I will tell you who he is. If you apply this test to Oscar Fernandez, then the result is crystal clear. Just go to his office or his house, which I have seen for the last 2 decades, who his friends are. He would receive all those who came to see him with equal warmth, make them feel at home with a kind smile, and patiently listen to them with rapt attention. They may be intellectuals or professionals or ordinary people. All would wait to meet him and share their concerns, and the most touching thing would be the large number of ordinary people waiting for him. His political life is like that of Abraham Lincoln, about whom it is said that he went from log cabin to the White House. Oscar Fernandez's political innings is similar. He went from Udupi Municipal Council to the Indian Parliament again and again. He was elected to the Lok Sabha 5 times and then to Rajya Sabha, and this shows how much people of his hometown and the state of Karnataka love him. His political life, above all, includes his impeccable record of unshakable loyalty and commitment to the Indian National Congress through thick and thin. His impeccable integrity is recognized even by those in the opposition party. He is immune to corruption. No scamster would dare to touch him even with a barge pole. For these qualities, he has remained the most trustworthy advisor to the leaders of the Congress party, from the president of the Congress party to the prime minister. No wonder he was elected as joint secretary more than 3 decades ago, and then as general secretary of the AICC from 1996 onwards. His parliamentary life has been extraordinary. He has served on various committees. And he was a former minister, union minister for statistics, youth affairs and sports, overseas, Indian affairs, labor and employment. We are privileged to have him with us on this important occasion, a man of such extraordinary qualities and vast experience. He understands issues and problems of all sections of society, and above all, problems of the excluded communities like the Dalits, and it is for this reason that we consider his presence with us as our good fortune. We are also privileged to receive and honor Srimati Blossom Oscar Fernandez, his beloved wife and companion for life. It is commonly said that behind a successful man is his wife. In this case, I am sure Oscar Ji will agree that if he has blossomed in his life, there is a blossom by his side to make it happen. A special welcome to you, madam. I request our Vice Chancellor to welcome them. Friends, I am indebted to Professor Venkatraw, beloved Vice Chancellor of our university, for encouraging us, the Center for the Study of Social Inclusive Policy and various activities. Your clarity, sir, in vision and leadership of the NLSIU has placed us at the commendable position in the whole, probably in India, not only in India, but also South Asia. As the director of the center, I am proud to present ourselves as a cutting-edge research and teaching center. Our research projects have deep impacts through policy advocacy and constitutional amendments. I have no time to mention. In fact, some of the recent amendments to Atrocities Act and Manual Scavengers Act and assisting Government of Karnataka to pass a legislation for the implementation of SCSB TSP plan and as a sub-plan. And we have also framed rules for the implementation of this act. We have done studies on nomadic tribes in Karnataka. 2 major studies have completed on religious minorities. The report will be submitted in a couple of days to Government of Karnataka, and based on which we are going to have a seminar. I'm going to request Oscar ji to come again for that state seminar. We have number of activities, seminars and publications. I have no time, and this is because of the leadership of our Vice Chancellor and his encouragement. We are fortunate to be very closely associated with Professor Sukhdev Thorat, chairperson of the ICSSR, formerly UGC chairperson, who has played a very key role in setting up. Only this can happen with a person of visionary leadership of Professor Thorat. He set up 33 centers for the study of social inclusive policy across the country. Professor Thorat has paved the way for bridging academic engagement with policy making and has set a pioneering path towards evidence-based social science research and theory and practice. And of course, IADS is example for this. And he's been not only, he's been our friend, guide, philosopher, mentor, also financier. In fact, he has funded several of our activities, and he has also partially funded this. Partially, I'm saying because there is a application that has gone for additional funding. Okay, so I request our Vice Chancellor to greet him and welcome him. We will be delivering keynote address today. I'm extremely delighted to welcome Professor Kevin Brown and his colleagues from the United States of America. Professor Kevin Brown is an old friend and a colleague who has a long standing relationship with National Law School of India University, starting with, as a Fulbright scholar. But I think over a period of time, 15, 20 years now? 17 years. Since then, he has been consistently engaging himself with research, on caste and, comparative studies on Dalits and Afro-Americans. And he has led several delegations to India so far. This is one of the delegations. And he has facilitated several scholars from India who have visited his university and other universities in the United States. Thank you, Professor, bringing this delegation. And I would like to welcome all of them, and Professor Brown. May I request, can I just request all my US delegates to come over and, US delegate. I will request Oscar ji to felicitate them and welcome them also with the shawl and. Friends, we are really honored, humbled, enthused to have a galaxy of eminent scholars, that's some of the best minds that our country has produced, whose contribution through research, writing, has brought about a paradigm shift in terms of debates and discourse on issues of caste, religion, whatever. We are so grateful to all of them for responding to our invitation. We have with us eminent scholars, starting from, I don't want to mention the one particular name, which will be, we have Professor Gail Ambedkar, Professor Bharat Patnakar, Professor Parashuraman, Professor Hargopal, Professor, I'll just go like this, Professor Asadi, Professor Mogali Ganesh, Amit Thorat, Larita Nayak, Professor Jairam, and Professor Babaya, Professor K. Maralu Siddhappa, and of course, Dr. Anand Teltumde, Dr. Siddhalingaya. And one name I want to specially mention today, and that has been a gift today, and a gift to this by coincidence. It so happens that it is a birthday of Professor Gopal Guru. And of course, my colleagues, Professor Babu Matthew, and all my colleagues who are here, welcome all of them. And the significance and importance of this conference, particularly commemorating Baba Saheb's Ambedkar's graduation centenary from the prestigious Columbia University, USA. Dr. Ambedkar's 100th year of graduation from Columbia University serves us with a memory of his phenomenal contribution to Indian politics, economics, law, and other disciplines through his sharp writings and speeches enriched by his pragmatism and a great sense of social justice. Being one of the first Indian leaders to have obtained postgraduate degree from America a century ago, he perhaps broke all Brahminical custody of academia and became the iconic role model for the Dalits to seek education as a pathway to abolish the slavery of the caste system. He used his personal experience of being ascribed the caste status of a Dalit and his academic acumen to enlighten the then policy debates with the fact that the caste system is the most impeding factor in the task of building a modern and successful India. Being an iconic leader of the Dalit community, he urged the Dalits to use education as a tool for social transformation. Dr. Ambedkar was well aware of his social status being a Dalit by caste, despite having gained such high honors in his academic career. The years spent at Columbia had helped him build intellectual and personal relationships, perspectives, and a strong personality for his later years in politics. And in fact, his graduation from Columbia University is the beginning of his public life in India. The stigma faced by the Dalits today in India of having belonged to a past untouchable, unapproachable, or even unseeable community is reflected in the angst as expressed by Ambedkar about his personal experience in the following words. I quote, "My 5 years of staying in Europe and America have completely wiped out of my mind any consciousness that I was an untouchable, and that an untouchable, wherever he went in India, was a problem to himself and to others. But when I came out of the station, my mind was considerably disturbed by a question, where to go, who will take me?" I unquote. This conference is a continuity with the great spirit of solidarity and dialogue that Dr. Du Bois and Dr. Ambedkar started in 1946, and in the pursuit of the liberation of the oppressed people of their respective countries from apartheid, slavery, untouchability, and from the system of graded inequality. In his correspondence with Du Bois, Dr. Ambedkar points out that, I quote, "There is so much similarity between the situation of untouchables and Afro-Americans that the study of the latter is not only natural but also necessary, unquote. Ambedkar found it not only natural but necessary for untouchables in India to study African Americans because both are struggles against slavery of different kind and have a lot learned from each other. Thus, it is not just an academic exercise. This conference is inspired by such great insights. This conference is also being held after almost 60 years of legal abolition of untouchability in India and 150 years of abolition of slavery and discrimination based on color in the US. But it is but a bare fact that old and new forms of untouchability and caste discrimination continues unabatedly in India, and new kinds of discrimination based on the color of skin continues even in the US. Thus, the need to know and understand the new dynamics of the oppressive phenomenon in the present era and also the way in which they get institutionalized even in the democratic establishments and also thought processes and its impact on the politics of liberation is all the more necessary. It entails also study into the modern day institutions and human behavior from the vantage point of oppressed. Even though the social and cultural context of the experiences of Afro-Americans and untouchables in India differs spatially and historically, the present political and social structure that govern and perpetuate exclusion, hegemony, and discrimination operate under the same global context, namely global capitalist regime, which is euphemistically circulates under the banner of globalization. Thus, one of the important focus of the conference is to understand this new global context and the possible dimensions of mutual solidarity. While the institution of slavery and untouchability, casteism, had its origin in pre-capitalist societies and the regimes it is societies and the regimes, it is but a truism, neither the capitalist economy or the democratic polity and its institutions were successful in eradicating them. While Du Bois left to Ghana with complete disillusionment with the American democracy, Ambedkar resigned from the government and also converted to Buddhism with the similar disillusionment with the new and democratic institutions of independent India. Both of them were of the opinion that the capitalism and democracy lacked the radical content necessary to challenge and eliminate the structures responsible for the continuance of discrimination and exclusion, and rather the new elites have not severed their umbilical cord with the old institutions. Thus, another important objective of this conference is also to understand and critique the existing political, economic, social regimes and its efficacy in dealing with the challenge of eradicating new forms of slavery, untouchability, and casteism. In doing so, we expect the enlightened scholars assembled here will identify the roots of the same and possible commonalities in confronting the same in theory and politics. On a final note, I'm humbled, as I said, I'm humbled by your presence and participation at this conference, and hope we will again immensely from this discourse and contribute, gain immensely from this discourse and contribute towards social transformation of the oppressed communities. With these words, let me welcome all of you and also my student friends, friends from media, and everyone who are present. Thank you very much.